What's up? Happy Thursday from Guatemala. It's a beautiful sunny day here on Lake Atitlan. I'll show you the view outside. It's been rainy season here. There's laundry. Rainy season here over the past few weeks, and it feels really good just to have some blue skies and a break in the rain. This vlog is going to be in two parts. The first is going to be me just reflecting on my lifestyle design principle of word for the year. And the second part is going to be two sections of gratitude that I just want to reflect on. I'm going to refer to a couple of links in this video, and it's part of my 30-second Thursday, which is my newsletter that I write once a week. So anywhere where I mention any of the links, you can just go to garethpickering.com/blog, and there'll be some writing and access to all of the links. The first thing I want to speak about is this word for the year, this lifestyle design tool that I have every single year, that rather than setting New Year's resolutions, I set a word for the year that I want to use as a sort of a directional beacon to align my life to. 2 years ago, when I first started this, my word for the year was abundance. I was working on my abundance journey and just wanting to feel a little bit more abundant in how I was showing up in the world. Last year, my word for the year was grace, and that had to do with my strong, stubborn bull energy that I have. I'm Taurian and strong in getting things done, but sometimes not very gracefully. And so grace was my word for 2019. And I chose my word for the year for 2020 to be surrender. And when I chose this word, Araminta was like, whoa, be careful of the words you choose, because you could be calling in situations that test you in a way that you need to work on this word for the year. And I was like, yeah. And there's a part of me that felt like I'm such a control freak in so many areas of my life that surrender for me felt like an edge, a place that I really needed to lean into, letting go of some things and trusting in a way. And so surrender for me is this dance between letting go and trusting, and not completely without preparation. In fact, I'm almost always over prepared, but sometimes life throws things at you and your plans need to change. And part of that process is trusting that the change of plans or the change of situation is linked to something that I had no idea that I needed. Obviously, 2020 has tested this word of surrender in a massive way. We had a retreat planned that started in April. We had almost 100 people coming to Guatemala from all over the world, and it was at exactly the same time that travel bans and COVID and lockdown started. And so in every single moment, there was zero opportunity for us to have a plan for what the world threw at us. And it seems that whenever you are sent a proper curveball and you think you're able to control it, you're going to suffer. There's no ways any of us could have had a plan for what we've all been experiencing in our lives, in our businesses, in our families, in lockdown over the last few months. And so whether you like it or not, you've probably had to surrender. And the dance for me has been this part of letting go and surrendering and waiting. Some of it is like you have no idea of what the next plan can be because things are changing so quickly. And if you're able to surrender in those moments and be like, okay, for now, I don't know. My plan A, B, and C is definitely not happening because clearly I couldn't have foreseen travel plans changing and all of these potential challenges of people coming to this retreat. I'm just going to have to surrender and make a decision with what I have now, knowing that even that choice could change in the next day, the next half an hour. And so my surrender journey has really been one of just trusting and letting go in more moments. And so if you are finding yourself trying to make plans, trying to make decisions, things are starting to open up and you want to move forward, there might still be, I really do believe, in the next few months and the rest of 2020, moments where you're going to need to surrender what you thought the outcome was going to be to something completely different. So I wanted to share that because it's been such a rich part of my life over this last few months of just letting go of things where I thought that I was able to control them and having an idea that I would have any idea what the outcome might look like. So that's the one thing I wanted to share. The two things I wanted to celebrate quickly were two elements of gratitude. Yesterday, Matt and I had felt like a really important conversation about our business. We got clear on our roles and responsibilities and formed the basis of our shareholders agreement. Excuse me. It's something that I think we have been needing to do for a while. And yeah, I was a little bit hesitant about the conversation. I got triggered by some stuff earlier in the week. And what I'm celebrating is the way that we've been able to navigate it. And the more time you spend with people in a working relationship, in a business partnership, or an intimate connection, or even with family, the more likely you are to start to get to understand each other's patterns and understand how they trigger you in some way. And what becomes the dance in these continual or deepening connections is identifying which parts are my triggers and my work to do, and which parts are, in this case, Matt's work to do. And when we identify those various parts, when I realize that I'm triggered by something of myself, have I got the skill set and the grace to be able to take that work and say, okay, this is mine to do. I've got to work on this particular trigger and realize that this is some core wounding that's resulted as something that's manifested in our connection, and this is mine to work on. At the same time, if you see something in the other person where they might be getting in their own way, or something's triggering them, or they've got some core wounding, are you able to negotiate it and navigate those things with the other person in a way that comes from a deep place of love, so that you can point out the shadow to the other person in a way that's really loving and helps them improve? And so, yeah, Matt and I had a really good conversation yesterday. And yeah, we feel even stronger now moving into the next phase of Live More Perfect Days. And yeah, our new website is up and working. We're pushing towards our goal of 10,000 perfect days designed. That's where Matt and I are using the lifestyle design principles that we teach at Live More Perfect Days, and we're using those exact processes to bring our first 10,000 people into our community and get them to design their own perfect day for free. And so go to livemoreperfectdays.com if you want to be one of our first 10,000 lifestyle designers, and watch us as we document our process using these lifestyle design techniques to be able to bring this order that we've placed, to use law of attraction and manifestation principles to bring 10,000 people into our community and start to unite our tribe. It's really super exciting. I'm loving what we're doing there. The last thing I want to just celebrate is yesterday, Araminta launched her online program. Her and I have both been working on building her online platform. She's been working hard creating content, and she launched Resilience yesterday, which is a program designed for what she calls conscious endings. This idea of being able to close off some of the things in our life that we haven't been able to do, whether those are relationships, past jobs, past traumas. For many of us, we've had in the last few months some sort of ending of some type, an ending of the world as we knew it, an ending of a job, an ending of the way life used to be. And many of us don't have the skill set to be able to go through life properly navigating these things and creating conscious endings, which is closing off of that last relationship, that last heartache, and instead of leaving it open as sort of an energy leak where you continually revisit the love of your life that broke your heart, you really consciously close that chapter, take some of the learnings, integrate some of the lessons that you learned, and use that as a way to grow rather than as a place to look back at and leak energy. One of the principles we're teaching in manifestation is this idea of decluttering. And before you can call new things into your life, you need to declutter and clear away some of the old things. And this process of conscious endings is very much a decluttering process for some of us. So if you're calling in a new relationship specifically, you need to make sure that you've properly closed off all of the previous relationships that you've had. And so proud of Minta for all the work that she's been putting into her program. If you go to garethpickering.com/blog and click on today's blog article, I've got a coupon code there. If you check out with the coupon code Gareth at aramintabarber.com for her resilience course, which starts on the 21st, which is 10 days away, and want to go through that program, there's a $100 discount code there. I'm excited to see if I can outsell her with my audience and get more sales from my audience than she gets from her own, although I don't see that happening. But yeah, just celebrating that as well. She's put in a lot of work, and I'm really excited about what she's created. It's super meaningful. So that's 30 Second Thursday. This is a 10-minute video. The 30 seconds will be a scan that you can do in the email. And if you're not subscribed, at garethpickering.com/blog, you can get my weekly newsletter, which talks about lifestyle design, manifestation, conscious ending sometimes. Last week was about immature masculinity and the important role that men's work has played in my life, and how I see that being a really critical part of the integration of some of the paternal structures we see on our planet at the moment. And yeah, I love putting this content out. I love having to be accountable to do this every single Thursday, and I would love it if you would follow me there. Till next week, much love. Ciao.